Shiver me timbers. I think I found the X marks the spot or something like that to find some buried treasure inside of this cave. Hey, what's up ladies and gentlemen, it is I, the one and only Mighty the Armadillo here, and I am back for some more yet again for the likes of the Maxi Toys videos, as always. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for some more of Let's Play of Mario Party 5 for the Nintendo GameCube. And as you can see, I'm now going to be in first this time around, because as you can tell, I'm going to be selecting Luigi for this board. And because of that, remember last weekend is the fact that we actually did manage to play through Rainbow Dream, and oh no, I did manage to once again dominate it for the most part. And for this particular weekend, for today, especially tomorrow in this case, is the fact that we are moving on to the third board in Mario Party 5. That's what appears to be by the forms of the Pirate Dream. Now, out of all the actual boards in Mario Party 5, this board will have to be by the forms of probably is my favorite board in the entire game. Well, for one noticeable thing, I'll get into more details about that in a minute. We actually got ourselves the forms of several other happening spaces in this board, like if you land on one over there, and same applies to up ahead, likely one over there and the other one there, this will actually create the forms of the Indiana Jones boulder, and basically this will actually take us all the way for that tunnel, all the way up to that specific spot over there. You know, just like in DK's Jungle Adventure. And there's also another happening space which activates a cannon, which actually leads us to 3 different canyon sides. Like one of them over there, and the other one should be around here somewhere, and the other one on the far left. And another happening space which actually activates a platform that actually leads us straight into the actual waterfall, and basically it'll take you like way down to the bottom. And also there's also the happening space which actually activates some sort of like a mini event, which basically allows you to able to do the ridiculous amount of button mashing by able to dig up for some gold. To be more specifically, for some coins. So even then though, I'm gonna have to admit though right away is the fact that, as I said this before, that this is probably my favorite board in Mario Party 5 for multiple reasons. For one, this place is huge, and second, I really do enjoy the music in this particular board, and it really does manage to fit the atmosphere very, very well. And finally, perhaps even most notable thing out of them all though, is that this place reminds me of so much of Chapter 5 from the likes of Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door. Despite the fact that this game came out in 2003, and then in Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door came out in 2004, so it's like a year later before that existence. So even then though, I was actually really impressed about this particular board's layout and all that stuff. So either way though, and yeah, there's not much else I can say. So either way, now of course we got ourselves the new minigame we can play, and that's what appears to be Pushy Penguins. Avoid the Pushy Penguins as they march to the sea, the last player standing wins. Now of course, this minigame will make a return from the likes of Mario Party The Top 100, if you're following through our Let's Play of Mario Party The Top 100, so yeah, keep that tradition in mind, especially noticeable that if you recognize this minigame, so yeah, that's sure it's surprising, I suppose. And this minigame can be pretty intense though, especially noticeable there was like too many penguins on screen, including some of these bigger variations of themselves, likely for the baby ones as well as the adult variations of those penguins. And yeah, you really don't want to fall off to the edges though, because otherwise you'll be out of the game. So yeah, try not to able to actually be so hasty on that. So either way though, yeah, today's day is of course the 19th of June today, in this case in 2021 today. Not much else I can talk about, but besides the fact that I'm pretty sure that Maxi has already mentioned about the rest of the forms of the E3 announcements, including the Nintendo announcements here and there as well, so I don't feel like trying to able to mention more about that again, but I will mention about it briefly whenever we get into like, let's just say the halfway point of this board. Because, usually, relatively speaking, I'm just so excited when it comes to those, recent announcements recently. So, either way, though, oh, looks like I've got myself my first star on the second turn. So, top notch for my, specific, dice roll luck elements to it, though. Although usually it can be something related to timing based if you manage to able to pause the game or something like that. So that way you can able to get a biggest roll if possible. So either way though, yeah, that's as far as I can say about it. And of course the next star is going to be on the highest height for that for sake of this board, so either way though we can expect this much, so... And then plus, if you recognize this particular board already, if you're following through the first part of the forms of Mario Party 5, that particular gameplay footage is actually heavily borrowed from this board. So you probably expected about the fact that I've already mentioned about this before, it's easily the best board in Mario Party 5, and perhaps it's my favorite board in the entire game. Just because it's all, you know, unique and everything, even though we've already experienced a pirate-themed board before, ever since in Mario Party 2, but thankfully we don't need to worry about the stupid planks onto that specific shark sections, which if you're following through the actual Let's Play of Mario Party 2, then you probably know what I'm talking about, because thankfully you don't need to able to deal with those annoying sharks, because in Mario Party 2 in Pirate Land, basically you have to force to able to pay coins if you decide to able to actually hop into the actual sharks, while trying to able to go for the planks and all that stuff, which is kind of annoying honestly, but either way though, it knows what it is. Alright, new minigame, Beam Team. This minigame's interesting enough, so either way, 3 players each ride in a UFO and fire tractor beams at the 4th player, who is trying to escape capture. So basically, the team of 1 needs to avoid not only the UFOs, but also the rocks, so that way they'll don't able to... I don't think they'll try to necessarily try to able to get tripped by it, but... Either way, though, we'll just trying to capture Waluigi. Yeah, speaking of those opponents-wise this time around on this board, I actually decided able to, well, as you probably already know, that I'm going to be playing as Luigi in this board, just because I feel like it. And as far as computer players this time around, we actually decided able to bring back Mini Bowser ever since Toy Dream. And now we actually bring up Daisy and Waluigi, because we have not seen those two yet in the entire game so far. So either way though, what of a coincidence that we actually now finally able to actually see all the characters in action. So either way though, yeah, you probably get the idea about that solution. So anyway, let's go ahead and use this coin block so that way we can able to, you know, get some more coins, because yes, there's going to be some other segments of this board that we do need to able to pay 10 coins for, well, one of them which is Thwomp over there, and also Womp over there as well, which, taking notice from the likes of DK's Jungle Adventure and Horrorland from both Mario Party 1 and Mario Party 2, well, for the Womp anyway, that you do need to pay 10 coins in order to able to bypass the Womp. But unlike any forms of DK's Jungle Adventure and Horrorland, basically it's the fact that rather than just letting the actual Thwomp manage to able to go from like the left side or the up section and vice versa every time you bypass the path, because it's now specifically on one spot. Although whenever we get onto the ones in Mario Party 8, and especially noticeable with the forms of, I would say a little bit on the forms of well, it might be hard to explain about this right now, just because we'll have to wait and see what happens, and during at some point, whenever we get on to, like, you know, Mario Party 6 or Mario Party 7, and even especially noticeable in Mario Party 8, so... Now, as you can see, that Daisy's now managed to got herself a Super Mushroom, so that way she'll get a pretty good roll until the next turn anyway, so even then though, because, you know... Alright, so looks like Waluigi gets a 3, so, let's see what the actual capsule is going to get. And he's going to get the Koopa Bank capsule. So either way though, oh, lucky you got a hidden block. Although to be fair though, that, you know, as I said this before, that the stars are no longer present on these hidden blocks. So I might be alright with this. But despite that though, on the other hand though, that's, well, you know what I'm saying. Even though that it's kind of a shame that until whenever we get onto Mario Party 6, that will be the final time we're going to be seeing those hidden blocks in action until Mario Party DS roll around. They're able to actually bring those hidden blocks back. So, you probably get the gist of it. So, oh boy, so it looks like Mini Bowser's going to able to try to steal something. I highly doubt it will be me, for the sake of, like, you know, trying to steal my coins, because I was in first after all. Wait, what? At first I thought he's gonna steal it from Daisy, because Daisy got 29 coins. Oh, I get it, because after all, that Waluigi got a hidden block, so that means you're probably gonna take, I would say, 8 coins, or 7 coins even. I was literally one above from that, so... Oh well, no big deal, but hey, at least, he's probably not gonna aim for me anytime soon, so, I guess that's that. Alright, another 4-player game, no battle game in sight, but hopefully we will come across into one eventually, but not now though. So we are playing Wildflower again, so even then though that we've already played this before, so time to do even more button mashing for this point, folks. So, yeah, you probably get the gist of it, so anyways, let's begin. I do apologize for that little, well, a bit of an awkward commentary, just because, well, again, I'm gonna have to do the ridiculous button mashing, but either way, I didn't beat my record, but that's okay, because either way, though, I think my record is good enough as it is, assuming if we're able to come across into that minigame again, but either way, we'll have to wait and see what happens to join at some point until, you know, the next few boards coming up for the next few weekends, or anything else to be more specific. So, either way though, because chances are that, you know, we're still on the halfway point in terms of the forms of, well, let's just say in June so far. So because of that though, you probably get the gist of it. So, really? I'll just got myself a red space. That's a bit ludicrous, I'm telling you. It's way too ludicrous. Okay, so Daisy gets a 7, and a 4, and a 10. So that's a really good roll, which is 21. Speaking of such though, actually, is the fact that Mario Party 3 will be 21 years old until specifically by the end of this year for 2021. So, yeah, I can't believe it's been like 21 years ago when Mario Party 3 first came out. But it looks like Daisy's not gonna get that start because she was off by 1 coin for that purchase. Gee, if you imagine if you get a double, or even a triple for that matter, Daisy, then you would be able to actually get that star before me. Assuming if you get yourselves a good rolls, like 21 or higher than that. But I digress. Okay, so it looks like Waluigi gets a 4, and, well, he's probably not gonna land on that chain jump space, but he's gonna land on the blue space, of course. No, triggered, hidden block or anything else like that, so, anyway, so it looks like Mini Bowser gets a 10. And I get the feeling that he's probably not gonna make it to that star, because obviously that, well, first of all, he's gonna pay 10 coins, even though he might still get enough for, trying to get to the star, if possible, but he was literally, I think he was off by, like, 4 spaces away from the star, or somewhat more than that. But either way though, let's just go ahead and move on to 1 versus 3 again, into fight cards again. God knows if I'm also able to win this time. If not, then I'm also able to just, well, take a loss, I suppose. So, oh yeah, something's worth mentioning for this point is the fact that recently I managed to finally go back onto Sonic Forces on the PlayStation 4 recently. Mainly it's because, first of all, Sonic Colors Ultimate is almost approaching, of course. That, at least we're able to finally get the remake or remaster of the forms of a brilliant Wii game back in 2010. That, we might get for about 3 months left now, so, that should be exciting. And, because of that, though, I'm going to be aiming for all of the trophies on Sonic Forces on the PlayStation 4 at this point. Especially notable for Sonic Mania, for Sonic Mania Plus, so if you want to be more specific. But either way, though, we'll find out and train at some point in the next few days or something like that. Because as far as I'm aware, that, yeah, I'm actually getting pretty excited when it comes to more releases by that time, as what... You know, as I mentioned this earlier, and also Maxi has already mentioned about this a lot, for the sake of his Let's Play of Wario Land 2. So either way though, speaking of Wario Land 2 actually, is the fact that he's pretty much almost done with Wario Land 2 so far. Even though he's only got few endings left, or to be more specifically, technically 3 endings to go, just because, I'm sure that he'll mention more about it until when he goes back onto Wario Land 2, to be more specifically until the 21st of June, so either way though, that might be some consumption, alright? And now the next star is right next to the Bowser space now, so God knows if someone were able to make it, but I highly doubt that, I'm pretty sure that Waluigi is almost gonna make it to the actual star pretty much, so at least I'm guessing that correctly, so anyways, let's see what Daisy's gonna get for the capsule machine, so let's see what item is she gonna get. A coin block. Of course, it's always gonna be a coin block, pretty much, so yeah, that pretty much summed up as such. Alright, so let's see what Waluigi's gonna do. He's probably gonna place the warp pipe capsule just around here. Okay, so that pretty much usually you can able to actually do some sort of like a chain reaction when it comes to that warp capsule event, but seems to be more specific that well, it might be hard to explain at this point right now, just because, well... Oh yeah, talking of which though, actually, is the fact that I believe we've only got about 6 more days to go until Mario Golf Super Rush for the Nintendo Switch will be on its way. So either way though, I'm still will be very excited about that, especially noticeable that I'm sure that Mario Golf fans out there will be super excited and able to actually now finally play the new entry in the series, as opposed to a remake or a port or anything else like that, because either way though, I'm quite surprised that none of those Mario Golf games gets like ported or anything else like that, aside from Virtual Console games, but that was on the Wii, or the Wii U for that matter, so either way though, you probably get the gist of it, so... Anyway, so it looks like that both Mini Bowser and Daisy are going to be playing Blown Away minigame right here. So basically, they'll just try to able to blow them off, while one of them will get blown off, so yeah, you probably get the gist of it, so whoever gonna wins this? I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Daisy, because otherwise Mini Bowser just stood there, and then he just takes his time, so either way though, yeah, he basically got screwed. But anyway, I suppose another thing I should probably explain about this as well is the fact that I recently managed to go back into another game I was going to be playing on my own time, such as Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, because after all, that DLC is now a thing, so because of that, I'm also able to carry on playing that game, because otherwise I'm also experience more content on the forms of that game, so yeah, that should be exciting, of course. So yeah, you probably get the gist of it. Okay, so we are playing Dodge Bomb again, so God knows of how quick this minigame will be lasts for. But we'll see what happens there. Alright, so let's see. Oh my god! They got exploded by one bomb! I think I did manage to able to toss that actually, and we managed to finish that minigame for about 1 second. Ah, jeez, that was like super fast and super quick at the same time. I mean, usually my problem with that minigame is just that, well, it just feels kind of quick and short, and also at the same time it reminds me of so much that, that minigame from Mario Party 2, known as the forms of, well, Bump and Balloon Car, because you only have like 1 hit if you manage to get into the explosion, so... I might as well bet on 10 coins to Daisy, because otherwise I need to able to catch up on coin star amounts, so hopefully that should be the case for my book. And let's see what minigame are we playing next. Oh, we playing this minigame again! But I honestly don't mind about it too much, because Sky Survivor is actually a cool minigame in concept, as well as the forms of how the execution goes, so... Although, whenever we get onto the next couple of those dual minigames, eventually, that sometimes I will have to admit the right way, I'm not a big fan of the dual minigames in Mario Party 5, unlike Mario Party 6 or Mario Party 7 for that matter, and heck, even there's a couple of them from, you know, Mario Party 8, that I'm sure we'll get to those at some point, but either way, we'll talk more about those, and so whenever we get into Mario Party 6, during the, well, later on this year, and also, drat, I just got hit, but thankfully I still win. See you then, Daisy, because your engine is exposed. And then eventually I'm also able to get some more coins from there. So, yeah, you probably get the gist of it, so... Oh, and basically I did manage to able to sort out the GameCube problem again, because, well, I'll get into more details about that whenever we get into the extra videos of this game has to offer, so either way, though, you probably get the gist of it, so... Anyway, so let's see what Daisy's gonna do now. She's probably going to toss the Hammer Bro capsule, almost right next to, that red space over to the distance over there, so, I can get the idea of what she was about to do. And she gets a 5, the actual number of the title, so I keep on mentioning some stuff like that, because, usually for any other Mario Party game, as we said this before, that if something, like, related to a dice roll number, like, usually, for example, if someone gets a 5, I always call it, like, the actual same number of the title of the game. So, and it looks like Waluigi's gonna get, well, tossed away by the forms of, the waterfall, which, that particular part right there always reminds me of, you know, the end of a film of, The Rescuers Down Under, and also, when that villain usually defeats. And also, a Goofy movie is another example that at the end of the film, potentially. And even there's also another one from the Emperor's New Groove, basically. So either way, though, like, I remember that funny part in the Emperor's New Groove when they were like, "Don't tell me, we're about to go over a huge waterfall." And then Pacha was like, "Yep." And then, I think Cusco in llama form, he was like, "Show rocks in the bottom." And then Pacha was like, "Most likely." And then Cusco went, "Bring it on." That is actually the best moment, and especially noticeable the funniest moment, in the Emperor's New Groove. In fact, that particular film has already been out for 20 years ago now. Or in this case, 2 decades ago, actually. So, yeah, I can't even believe that film is now 2 decades old. Although the next film is going to be 2 decades old, which is going to be Atlantis, The Lost Empire, which I haven't exactly remembered the film that much compared to the films of, well, The Emperor's New Groove, basically, and Lilo and Stitch, and also The Princess and the Frog, and Bolt, and I think that's as far as I can usually remember some of these films. Even though, mind you, there are some exceptions, though, like, well, I already mentioned this before, Atlantis, The Lost Empire, and also Treasure Planet, and, well, I've definitely heard some good things about Treasure Planet, despite the forms of, I wouldn't classify for saying box office flop or something, or potentially speaking something else. And I do definitely know Brother Bear, but despite the fact that that film is like, well, it does do pretty alright for box office, but it's just that for review's sake, it doesn't go that well though. And as far as I'm aware, don't even get me started on Home on the Range though, because that film was a miserable flop. To me, anyway, and it's also pretty stupid in concept. And, oh wow, looks like someone is actually gonna warp to me. Probably get the idea about the fact I'm actually gonna be right near to the store at some point, so thanks, Daisy, I appreciate about that. Even though despite the fact that you actually get yourselves a pretty alright roll, but apart from that, you pretty much got screwed for not getting the store after all, so... So meanwhile for Waluigi, he's probably off by 4 spaces away from the store. Even though I wasn't paying attention to it that much though, just because, well, it has been about, you know, 6 days ago since we actually managed to hop back onto Mario Party 5, so... Forgive me if I botched it, so... Anyway, so Mini Bowser gets the Lakitu capsule, or Koopa Kid if you lived in North America. I'm not exactly sure what the actual Japanese name for Koopa Kid. In fact, let me know in the comments below to see how that translates to. But even then, I'm very curious about that, so... Alright, another new minigame, Light Fright. And if I recall correctly, this minigame will make a comeback in the top 100. So, stop the chain jump as close to you as possible without letting it attack you. Whoever stops it the closest wins. So yeah, basically it's like a timing thing basically, and you have to make sure until that chain jump just goes you know, close towards you. So because of that, you don't want to get it right near to you or get even much more closer to you because otherwise you'll be out. So, yeah, that's something worth noting for. Alright, come to me, Chain Chomp, come to me. There we go, 2.0 meters. So, I think that's actually a pretty good measurement right there. I think the closest one you can get into is like, I don't know, 1.0 meters? Which, I know it has been a while since I actually did manage to play this minigame from time to time. I think, kind of think about it, I think the last time I actually played that minigame was actually from the top 100 version, ironically. So, yeah, not sure it's something, I suppose. So anyways, let's go ahead and toss the Koopa Bank capsule into that red space, almost right near to us. And let's see if we can get a good number. I think I need to get 6 or higher. So even if I could get 10, I'm also able to land on that happening space, which actually gives me even more coins. But sadly though, I think I get the horrible feeling I might as well land on the Bowser space instead. Oh boy. I'm hoping nothing will screw me up beyond belief, but we'll have to wait and see what happens as soon as I purchased my 3rd star in this board. So, yeah, it looks like so far so good for my dice rolls as far as I'm concerned. So, yeah, awesome stuff. Alright, so let's see what the next star space is going to be located, and I get the feeling that someone might able to actually get there. Likely Daisy or something? But we'll see what happens. There. Alright, another Bowser time. Let's see what this is going. I get the feeling I don't think we can able to see that DK punching Bowser again, because I'll discuss more about that until whenever we get into the future boards and beyond. So, looks like if we lose this minigame, we'll lose all of our coins. So, but luckily we got ourselves a new minigame we can play, Cajun Cooking. This seems like a very easy minigame, so press the buttons as they appear on the cage to escape. Get out of your cage before Bowser cooks you. And this minigame will make a comeback in Mario Party the Top 100 as well, which I'm glad that was the case, because unlike Sculpture Cauldron though, that minigame is incredibly random and luck-based. But at least at the very least, in the original version of this minigame is the fact that it does have the correct music, but unlike the Top 100 version, for whatever reason they just borrowed the music from Mario Party 6, but I just have no clue why. And it looks like Mini Bowser's gonna get toast, and he was off by 2 sections left. Or to be more specifically, 2 buttons left. And it looks like that Bowser managed to able to, like, banish his minion right here, which, seems kind of weird, but, hey, at least it's something. So it looks like Mini Bowser's coins is being taken away, but at least, Daisy and Waluigi did somehow survive, somehow. Even though they do manage to able to actually make it during time, so I guess that's something. And sure enough, I think Daisy's gonna make it to her star now, which I'm guessing that seems the case, because obviously she did manage to survive the, Cajun Cooking minigame after all, so at least that's something for her. So, again, there's not much else I can say, I'm afraid, guys, because usually, relatively speaking, I've already mentioned about how unique this board is. Especially noticeable that, oh yeah, I forgot to mention about the forms of the actual star difficulty of this board. The star rating difficulty on this board is 2 stars out of 3. Meaning it's like a medium difficulty, which, honestly, it should be like a 1-star difficulty, honestly, but it knows what it is for the most part, so I guess that we don't have any, circumstances to able to actually change that, because obviously that, we are in 2021 still, and there's no way we can travel back in time, because otherwise space-time continuum, so, yeah, we don't want that happening, so... And it looks like that Waluigi's gonna able to lose, you know, 5 coins as always, and I wonder what space is he gonna land on. I bet it might be a blue space for my recollection, so... Oh, jeez, we're gonna have another Koopa Bank space? Jeez, I wonder how much coins that we might able to hold up for. It's 15 so far, so... But eventually, whenever we get on to Mario Party 6, though, the Koopa Bank spaces will no longer going to be continuing at that point. Well, at least if I recall that correctly. Even though I may be wrong, because it has been a while since I actually did manage to play the Hudson Soft Mario Party games, of course, because, well, recently I just managed to able to play Super Mario Party on online play for, Mario Party mode and all that stuff, and I did have a really good time at it. Despite there was some bit of a lag going on, but apart from that though, at least I'm glad that feature is now a thing, so either way though, it knows where it stands. Alright, so Mini Bowser gets the chance capsule, which I'm not looking forward to that, because if I somehow manage to get screwed over by, you know, it gets a bit worse when it gets to, like, you know, trading stars or trading coins and whatever. I'm also able to get screwed over beyond belief, which, I do definitely know that some, YouTubers out there managed to get screwed over by chance times, which, that maybe seems the case after all, so... Alright, so Revolving Fire again, which we've already played before, but now this time, well, there's not much else you can tell, honestly, so either way though, be gone! Even though I was originally going to be able to actually put them on hard mode, but I'm also able to get my butt kicked in the actual board gameplay after all, but it knows what it is from my knowledge, but either way, it knows what it is, so... And I suppose another thing I should probably explain about this as well is the fact that I recently managed to get back onto Sonic Adventure DX on the Xbox 360, and same applies to Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, also on the Xbox 360, on the Xbox Live Arcade versions. Because obviously, that since that the new Sonic games is about to be up and doing at some point in the future, that means I'm also able to have some bit of time to celebrate it, so... And also, I did manage to get back into Sonic the Hedgehog 2006, to try to able to actually finish up the last story segment, and, yeah, that's just sort of worth noting for, and, oh no, I did have a really good time with those games, despite Sonic 06 being the, well, miserable 3D Sonic game, but I still managed to find that game somewhat playable, but it can be pretty unplayable in certain segments, most notably with the repetitive combat shadow segments from time to time, and even Silver's gameplay aspect is a bit all over the place. Just literally all over the place, I'm telling ya. But I digress. Alright, so it looks like Waluigi gets a 10. The 10 being the highest number of them all. At least for certain dice blocks as far as I'm aware, including 1 through 10 dice block from the likes of Mario Party 9, which, that reminds me, why can that dice block will make a comeback in 10, but unfortunately that doesn't seem the case sadly, but oh well. Alright, so Mini Bowser gets a 5, and he lands on the exact capsule event that he managed to toss at, so... And he's probably gonna steal an item from Daisy, because she was the only one got... Well, yellow types of capsules, like the yellow, the coin block capsule as an example. But yeah, you probably get the idea how that goes. Oh, and by the way, with that, Womp over there, that what Mini Bowser is almost right near to, that was actually, like, kind of a new thing, but at the same time, it kind of feels like a similar thing as in, let's just say any forms of Mario Party 1, as in Yoshi's Tropical Island, and Pirate Land from the likes of Mario Party 2, that you still need to pay coins. However though, the biggest difference is now, it's now going to be strictly 10 coins, as opposed to increasing the amount of coins you're going to be paying for, unlike Mario Party 1 and Mario Party 2. So either way though, because chances are, that way you can able to actually save quite a few amount of coins. Although you still need to pay 10 coins after all in order to able to progress on certain segments of the board, but apart from that, you can now able to actually just to pay 10 coins every time you want to either go bypass that Womp on the up direction, or you can able to actually take a ride on a Thwomp and able to take you onto the next elevating section for the, well, for Pirate Dream, of course. So, now I think that pretty much summed up in terms of, well, Pirate Dream has to offer, and I'm gonna say, I am very pleased about this board, basically, so, what's this? Ah, I got screwed by a hammer, bro. Well, good thing it's not the Piranha Plant, though, because the Piranha Plant can be pretty deadly and all that stuff when it comes to losing coins in mind. Oh well, we'll take a red space. And it looks like Daisy's not going to use her spiny capsule because she doesn't have enough coins to use it by herself. And it looks like she's probably going to land on a red space as well, just like me. God knows, we might as well be able to play a new 2 versus 2 minigame or something like that. But again, we'll see what happens during when Waluigi or Mini Bowser were able to actually land on something. So, okay, so Waluigi gets a 9, so it seems that he keeps on getting some good rolls at this point. Although, again, what if we get onto Mario Party 7 and Mario Party 8, that I'm sure enough that one of those particular elements on, you know, dice block movements will come in handy for one of those, well, bonus stars at the end, which, again, we'll let some toys else mention more about Mario Party 7 until 2022, basically, so... Alright, so Mini Bowser's gonna place his coin block capsule right next to the Bowser space. Which I get the feeling, get the gist of it. And he's probably gonna go strictly to left and up. Well, despite he hasn't got that much coins though, but what's this? Another Hammer Bro capsule. Even though sadly that Mini Bowser lost all 6 coins, but he will get 3 of them back, so that should be alright for him. So yes, we now ended up on a 2 versus 2 minigame at long last, so yeah, I guess that's about the time to be able to actually play more of those 2 versus 2 minigames basically. In a new minigame nonetheless, banking coins. This minigame is kind of fun though, even though you do have to get a lot of usage on cooperating, so one player hits the vase to get coins while the other player collects them. So one player can do, you know, the vase and then the other can grab those coins if they fly out of the vase. So, and while we're at it though, we have to deal with the actual tilting platform basically in order to able to like, you know, navigating through certain points worth noting for, but hey, at least we can able to grab some more coins along the way, so we can probably do that. Oh yeah, something's worth mentioning for this point is the fact that, well, honestly, that's all I can say, because either way though, that I'll talk more about, a brief details about the forms of E3 announcements, as what, Maxi has already mentioned. Well, at least ever since in his Let's Play of Wario Land 2, of course. And then that way we can able to actually mention about some catch-up information about certain things, so... Oh wow, looks like we got the exact same amount of coins. 15 coins to be exact. So, that's pretty, something I suppose. But, at least on the upside is for me, I'm pretty much gonna be on the record for the Coinstar record. At least for now, anyway.